no longer living, but now he's alive. Do you think that's more kind of a Loki thing?
Having played Loki for, I think, 6 movies, doing the show it was a risk in a way. Like what you were saying, I was like, I just don't want to break him open. You know, take him away from all the things that people knew he was associated with, away from his brother, away from his father, away from his home. The controlled character is someone who's always kind of thinking 10 steps ahead, completely vulnerable, full of doubt, and in a way, because he's got such a confronting. Avengers, he's already the god of mischief. He knows who he is. He knows what he wants. He doesn't need his family anymore. He doesn't need Odin anymore or Thor. And he's more like the God of Menace. So rather than being a lost Asgardian prince, he's more like an Asgardian pirate. I remember meeting Joe and Anthony Russo. And they said, Infinity War is in this labyrinthine thing, and everyone's involved, and we're trying to refine what happens in it. There are some things we're not sure of yet. However, we are sure that the opening of this film is Loki giving the Tesseract to Thanos. And I said, so that's it. And he's like, yep. Misunderstood. The most misunderstood of all misunderstandings.
Yeah.
For heaven's sake.
Loki's just very jealous of his elder brother. His elder brother is going to be king. His elder brother's going to...
Looks like Chris Hemsworth.
Yeah, 100%. I thought Thor: The Dark World was it.
Yeah.
Infinity War was final.
The death scene in the beginning.
The death scene at the beginning of Infinity War. That was pitched to me 2 years before we filmed it. They don't know what's going to happen in Avengers 3 yet, but they have their opening scene, and they're going to tell you what it is.
Oh gosh. Okay.
So they told me, whatever, 3 years ago now.
Yeah.
What happened? That opening scene. They were like, "This is how we're gonna start." And so I thought, well, I guess that's it then. When we shot it, they knew for sure. Yeah.
And you
so
knew.
I knew about the endgame piece.
Okay.
But I knew that in terms of Loki's journey, the arc was complete, and it was very emotional.
Yeah.
This is how we're opening this film, and this is the end of Loki, and that's it. And when I shot it, I thought that was absolutely the last time I would play the character. I knew about 6 weeks before the worldwide release of Avengers Infinity War. Okay. Going, yep, that's it, guys.
Well, you're used to lying.
I can share this with you, that working with them on what it's going to be, what the content's going to be, what the meat and potatoes of the story is going to be, the tone, the context, the different challenges. I don't know. I think a part of the Loki thing is, completely changing my appearance. It does tend to sort of change your silhouette. As soon as I look in the mirror after I've been through hair and makeup, it's like, wow. Like all the bad guys in the films I've loved have always had a charm about them. It feels like a game. It feels like acting at its best is a game, and you're playing, and. So it's like playing Loki is sort of playing some sort of free-spirited, chaotic version of myself that delights in mischief and chaos, I guess. Not being the heir to the throne, he was always going to have more freedom and less responsibility. He'd be able to sort of take little, just make fun of Thor's journey to being king of Asgard. Turns out he didn't want anyway. It's always been there in the mythology. It's been there in the comics. Loki, as a character, has had such a broad and wide-ranging identity. He's always been a character that you could never put in a box, you could never pin down. And I was really pleased that we were able to touch on that. I were Loki's therapist. I would say, first of all, we need to put a down payment on at least 30 sessions, because it's going to take a while. And I would do a lot of listening, and I would say, how does that make you feel? And I would try to encourage him to forgive his family, so leading him towards forgiveness and say, your brother is not so bad, your father actually kept you alive, your mother cares about you very much, to see if he could sort of spin his perspective, because the way he sees the world is he thinks the universe it hates him. He thinks he has no place in the universe. Actually, he does, and there are lots of people who would like him to be part of things, but just be like, lots of cups of tea, a lot of love, a lot of listening, and a lot of time on that couch. He'd be coming back every day saying, I got this other thing to tell you. There was this time when Odin said this. And we're like, please sit down. He's such a complex character with so many complexities and contradictions. And the longer I've played him, an increasing responsibility to deliver the character that everybody loves, but also a curiosity about finding new facets every time. And the most thrilling aspect was actually taking Loki away from everything that was familiar to him and challenging him profoundly with the TVA and with his own story and with many different aspects of himself. And I found that a really terrific starting point. I love playing him is there is an element of delight and joy at being bad. He's someone who knows his true nature and is having a really good time.
We have a message to all Team Loki fans.
Or Loki's Army, I should say. You have been so incredibly kind, and everything you've done, all of the love and affection you've poured on this character has surpassed my expectations so profoundly, and I just want to say thank you so much. You've made me and my Uncle Billy here incredibly proud.
So,
I know.
thank you.
They have been amazing,
Yeah,
honestly. I'm so grateful that we got to make season 1. I'm not quite able to process that we get to have another go. I am so excited by the possibilities. But also I want to say thank you to the audience, because without the audience we wouldn't be able to make a season 2. I hope season 1 was full of surprises, and I think season 2 will be full of even more. Can't wait to get started.